Part 37. Rebirth of a Farming Wife. Author, Tien. Chapter 361. Han Yu felt helpless and a little scared when he saw his wife like this. Fortunately, her daughter-in-law still knew how to measure and only used the simplest and most obvious ones, otherwise others would see it and guess something. Lubin's secret skills were enough to make some people are crazy and will do whatever it takes. It was also his fault that he did not have enough ability. They would only dare to secretly use such a secret skill in their hands and would not dare to reveal it. However, if it was just a way to show their strength among those wealthy families, Han Yu made up his mind to use it. You must develop your power quickly, otherwise, sooner or later, people will notice you based on the things exposed in your wife's hands. Su Wenyu didn't understand Han Yu's complicated mood. Although she didn't think she was very smart, she still had to be cautious after living a new life, so what she usually exposed were insignificant things, but now it's so easy. I said it because I was facing Han Yu. Daughter-in-law, these are great things, you know. They must not be exposed in front of others in the future. No one can tell them except me. People's desires and greed are beyond your imagination. We cannot risk our own wealth and life. Take risks and bet on the quality of human nature. Han Yu looked at Su Wenyu and said solemnly. Su Wenyu actually knows this truth, so even Han Yu didn't know it before. Now she is willing to tell it. It is Han Yu's performance in these days that makes her agree and trust her. And Han Yu's ability to say such words shows her choice is right. The first moment this man learned about this, he was not concerned about the value of these things themselves, but her safety. Based on this alone, he was worthy of her trust. Daughter-in-law, I'm serious with you. You must remember my words and do as I say. Do you hear me? Seeing that Su Wenyu didn't speak, Han Yu thought that Su Wenyu had no sense of safety and said anxiously. There is an urgent need for Su Wenyu to give him a guarantee. He knows that his wife is a person who keeps her word. As long as she agrees to something, she will do it as promised, regardless of whether she means it or not. Su Wenyu looked at Han Yu's eager and thoughtful look and nodded. However, Han Yu still seemed a little worried and said, anyone I am referring to includes my father-in-law, mother-in-law, and uncle. Han Yu said, fearing that Su Wenyu would think too much, he explained a few more words. It's not that I don't believe them. I know that your father-in-law, mother-in-law, and uncle are all very good to you, but what you want to consider before you is your family, not to mention that you are still connected with the Bayan Marquis mansion. Even though your two uncles love you very much and your relationship is very close, it is not as close as your own wife and children. I made malicious assumptions about the two uncles, but I have a deep understanding of it myself. Maybe saying this is contrary to filial piety, and even selfish and heartless, but that's what I think. Since I have a daughter-in-law, you, in my opinion, other people not as important as you. Su Wenyu was indeed a little unhappy when she heard what Han Yu said at first. Anyone with eyes could see how her parents and eldest brother treated her and Han Yu. Han Yu clearly didn't believe them when he said this, and even there was some suspicion of ungratefulness, but after hearing what Han Yu said later, Su Wenyu could only feel touched and moved. This was the first time Su Wenyu heard such words. Even her parents and brothers were very kind to her, but they couldn't be compared. No matter how many words they said, no matter how nice they were, there was no need to say, no one else is as important as you. At this moment, Su Wenyu felt so happy that she wanted to cry. She had never felt so important. As he spoke, Han Yu saw his wife's tears red and tears gathering in her eyes. Daughter-in-law, I'm not really so heartless or selfish. It's just that there are some things that I can't control and I never expected, like my wife. You. I know that I am a cold and almost selfish person. Before I met you, I didn't have much affection. I only felt gratitude and filial piety towards my parents. Slowly entering my heart, I realized that there is such a person in the world who can be so important to me and has such a great influence on me. I just want to live a good life with you and let you live a good life. Sir, I know. I know you are doing it for my own good. I didn't think too much about it. You are not selfish at all. Such thoughts are human nature. In fact, you are selfish. I wish you would only be good to me. Su Wenyu went over and hugged Hanyu and said, her face full of happiness. Since her rebirth, all she expected was to live a peaceful and stable life, and because of what happened in her previous life, her expectations for Hanyu were not high. She never expected that such a day would come to her. Seeing his wife like this, Hanyu curled his lips and gently touched his wife's head with his thick palm. He said nothing more. After all, he was a man of few words. He didn't like to talk when it was unnecessary, let alone confessing to his wife like this. I have said enough about my thoughts today, and finally achieved satisfactory results. The two couples confided in each other, and their relationship took a big step forward. After lingering for a long time, they finally set their sights on the colorful lamp again. Hanyu thought about what to do with the lamp. Sir, this colorful and exquisite lamp is coveted by so many people. I'm afraid it won't be a good thing if we hold it. Why don't we give it away and give it to the right person? Su Wenyu already has the answer to what she wants to know. This colorful lamp, there was really no need for Ling Longden to stay, as it would cause trouble for himself. Hanyu had the same idea. He had not made up his mind before because of his wife's attitude towards the colorful exquisite lamp. Now that his wife said so, it was naturally the best. However, he saw the colorful exquisite lamp on the table that had been disassembled beyond recognition. Wife, can this colorful exquisite lamp be restored after being disassembled like this? Su Wenyu nodded, came to the table, picked up the colorful exquisite lamp on the table that had been disassembled and could no longer see its original shape, and assembled it one by one without any hesitation. The technique was quite familiar. After a while, the colorful exquisite lamp was restored to its original state. It looked no different, but the sheepskin picture was taken out by Su Wenyu. Take this. So many people want it. Let's keep it. Maybe it will be useful in the future. Su Wenyu stuffed the sheepskin picture into Hanyu's arms. Although the sheepskin picture was useless to them at present, Hanyu was a man with great ambitions. Maybe he could use it in the future. Hanyu held the sheepskin map, and the corner of his mouth twitched. Wife, is this okay? Those people are probably here for this sheepskin map. If they find that the sheepskin map is not there, I'm afraid they will suspect us. Rebirth of a Farming Wife. Author, TNNI. Chapter 362. Don't worry, it's not my fault. Not many people in the world can unlock this colorful and exquisite lamp. Lubin stunts are not just for words, otherwise you can just put any old thing in it. As long as it is old, it can be fooled. It's just a person, no one knows what's inside anyway. The reason why Su Wenyu is so confident is that no one has been able to turn on the colorful lamp in her previous life, otherwise the thing would not have fallen into her hands and been discovered by her. The secret behind it is that Su Wenyu now feels that her luck is quite good. Hanyu saw that his daughter-in-law looked so determined, and there was indeed some truth to what she said. Even people like Shang Guanwu couldn't tell the slightest clue. The reputation of the world's best lamp was not without reason. It was not only the exquisite workmanship, but also the it should also be on this. Let's do it like this. Hanyu didn't need to look for anything else. He said that he found a worn-out parchment in a secret room in the study. It was somewhat similar to the parchment just now. It was the colorful exquisite lamp. It would not arouse suspicion if someone really opened it. Su Wenyu took apart the colorful exquisite lamp again and put the sheepskin picture inside. However, this time she was much more skillful in her movements, and she restored the colorful exquisite lamp to its original state in a short time. Daughter-in-law, it's getting late, Let's go and have a rest first, Han Yu said when he saw that the colorful exquisite lanterns were finished. He was also worried that his wife's health would not be able to bear it. After struggling all night, it was already 3 o'clock. After struggling for most of the night, Su Wenyu felt a little sleepy and yawned. Just as she was about to go to rest with Han Yu, she heard the boy below reporting that a guest was visiting. It was almost midnight, and a guest came so late, especially in the limelight. Han Yu and Su Wenyu almost simultaneously thought that the visitor was here for the colorful lanterns. The couple looked at each other with expressions on their faces. There is some worry. The next few groups of forces tonight are not local forces. Only aristocratic families can cultivate such manpower. They are not able to fight against them yet, but although they do not intend to leave the colorful exquisite lamps, but not when being threatened. Ms. Sir, Su Wenyu felt increasingly uncomfortable. She was the one who caused this. If she hadn't insisted on getting the colorful lamp, she wouldn't have had so much trouble. However, if she didn't open it and take a look, she couldn't feel at ease. She didn't regret it, but she was afraid of bringing disaster to Han Yu. Han Yu patted Su Wenyu's head comfortingly. It's okay. The soldiers will come to cover up the water and the earth. Anyway, we don't intend to keep this lamp, so there will be no danger. The rest is just a balance between interests. After all, it won't hurt, don't worry. Han Yu had previously discovered signs that his wife was having some random thoughts, and worrying too much was not good for her health. Besides, although what he said was a bit exaggerated, the benefits did outweigh the disadvantages. His current situation was originally targeted by Sun Tong, so he might as well pass it. Find a temporary backer for this matter, or form an alliance of interests to obtain sufficient benefits. Su Wenyu felt much relieved when she saw Han Yu say this. At Han Yu's signal, the waiter had already invited the guest to the main hall. Daughter-in-law, you go back to your room and rest first. I'll come back after I've taken care of this matter. Okay, then I want to go and have a rest. You should be careful, Su Wenyu nodded and warned. She has done what she can do. The rest is between men. She is not a woman who can handle external matters. Mixed in, otherwise it would ruin Han Yu's affairs, but I was also a little curious in my heart. No matter what the process was in the previous life, this colorful and exquisite lamp fell into Sci-Kong Ling's hands. I don't know that her participation in this life will lead to changes in things. Whose hand will the colorful exquisite lantern fall into in the end? Su Wenyu waved to the boy who came to report the news. Go to the front and ask who is here. When Han Yu arrived at the main hall, he was not surprised to see that the visitor was Sci-Kong Ling. He raised his eyebrows and said, Young Master Sci-Kong is an honored guest. I'm here late at night. What's the matter? Sci-Kong Ling saw that Han Yu was pretending to be confused. He was also afraid that time would drag on and something would happen, so he hurried over in such a hurry. That thing was indeed important to him. It didn't matter whether the legend was true or false. The only thing, even if it was destroyed, those people wouldn't be able to get it, but Han Yu was really cunning and never mentioned the fact that he had sent people to help him before. A smile appeared at the corner of Sci-Kong Ling's mouth. Master Han is a sensible person, so he naturally knows why I am here. It is better to be early than to be late. When we came in from the outside, we already found many passers-by ambushing outside. Just relying on the Han mansion, these guards may not be able to guard that thing. The reason why those people are still holding back until now is also due to the checks and balances of all parties. This kind of silence will not last long. I think Mr. Han will not be able to sleep tonight. After solving this matter, only by doing this can you sleep peacefully and don't have to worry about when assassins will break in from the outside. Young Master Sci-Kong is really kind-hearted. He came here in the middle of the night just to remind me of this and let me have a good sleep. I appreciate young Master Sci-Kong's kindness. Please don't worry. I have already thought about the whereabouts of this thing. Okay, don't worry about the rest, Han Yu said with a smile, and he could be calm towards others, but he really didn't want to have a too good attitude towards this man who coveted his wife. Even if he did have the intention to trade with Si Kongling for colorful lamp, he didn't want the process to go too smoothly. Si Kongling was not angry. He could not expect Han Yu to have such an attitude. However, the man in black who followed him was very angry. He looked at Han Yu with hatred. Han, don't be ungrateful. If it weren't for my young master, you would not be able to stand here properly. You might have been killed by that group of men in black. This man in black was the one who led the killing of another group of men in black. Han Yu naturally recognized him. If anyone else did this, Han Yu would still be grateful. But it was Si Kongling and the attitude of this man in black. It was really hard to be grateful. So I have to thank you too for saving my life? I thought you were here to prevent that group of men in black from snatching the colorful exquisite lantern. It turns out that you brought so many people to help us selflessly. You solemnly thanks you too. There was nothing wrong with what Han Yu said, but the irony in his words became more and more obvious. The man in black had a dark face when he heard it. He was about to get angry, but was stopped by Si Kongling. Su Wenyu returned to her room first, but did not sleep. Instead, she waited for the servant to report to her. How is it? Did you find out who it is? Su Wenyu asked hurriedly when she saw the servant coming back. Madam, the person who came is the young master of the Sikong family. It seems that he came for the colorful exquisite lamp. You are listening to novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Rebirth of a Farming Wife. Author, Tianni. Chapter 363. Su Wenyu heard that it was Si Kongling. Although she was not very surprised, the expression on her face still changed slightly. Although it only happened in the previous life, but Han Yu was the boss of Si Kongling, Su Wenyu always felt guilty. She was also afraid that Si Kongling would affect her current life. Although Si Kongling had stopped making any moves since that time and had no plans to hit her again, Su Wenyu knew this person too well and couldn't rest assured. Seeing Su Wenyu's expression change, the young man thought that Su Wenyu was worried and was quite clever, so he said, Madam, don't worry. When I came over, I saw the master and young master Sikong talking about something. It didn't look like there was anything wrong. If there is something wrong, if you are not at ease, I will go over to investigate and report to you immediately if there is any news. Su Wenyu knew that the young man had misunderstood, but it was okay, it's okay, you go and keep an eye on it for me, and if you find anything, come and report to me. When the young man saw Su Wenyu, he received the order and ran forward in a hurry. At that speed, he really wanted to get things done. If he caught the lady's eye, he would have a promising future. Su Wenyu felt a little sleepy after waiting, so she went to the room over there to see the three little guys. After waiting for a while, Han Yu returned to the room with a pale face. Su Wenyu couldn't tell anything, so she could only beat the drum to inquire. Ms. Sir, how is the matter of the colorful exquisite lamp handled, but has it been negotiated with the person? Su Wenyu was very careful when speaking, not mentioning Si Kongling, only talking about the guests, remembering Han Yu's jealous temper, especially Si Kongling had had an interest in her before, but Han Yu had told her not to mention other men's names from her mouth. Han Yu glanced at his wife indifferently. How could he not see her little thoughts? When they were in the living room just now, the boy was snooping around outside, but he didn't notice it. If he had been there, he would have been chased away. After he went out, he knew it was his wife who sent him, so he let it go. Now if the wife said that she didn't know that the guest was Si Kongling, Han Yu wouldn't believe it, but he was still very happy that his wife could have such an attitude. In the end, At least it showed that his wife took what he said to heart. "Ms. Sir, why are you looking at me like this?" Suenayu felt guilty when she saw Hanyu looking at her like this, and became even more uncomfortable. "Daughter-in-law, you really don't know who the so-called guest is? I thought the young boy peeking outside the door was sent by you, so I didn't have an attack. Now it seems that the young boy is not well-intentioned. Maybe who sent him the spy must be carefully interrogated and cannot be easily spared," Hanyu said with a half-smile. Although he was happy that his wife took his words to heart, she could not get used to this habit of lying. As soon as Hanyu heard what Hanyu said, he knew that he had exposed his secret. Also, Hanyu was such a shrewd person. Besides, she and Si Kongling had happened in the previous life. She had never done anything shameful in this life. She was timid. What he does with his hidden thoughts arouses suspicion. After thinking about it, Suenayu became more open-minded and met Hanyu's eyes. "I sent that boy, so I'm not worried. I know who the guest is, but I'm not afraid that someone will be fine. He is jealous as much as the boss." Hanyu didn't expect his wife to react very quickly. It was his fault for beating her up like this. He originally wanted to tease his wife, but when it came to Si Kongling, he really didn't feel angry. "Humph, my husband, I am such a stingy and jealous person. If Si Kongling has bad intentions, he is not a good person. I know, that's why I'm worried about you. Si Kongling is a very scheming person at first glance. He might have some bad ideas in his heart. I'm not afraid that you will suffer. Otherwise, what do you think I am doing? My daughter-in-law, you underestimate me. So what if Si Kongling has too many eyes? Your husband-in-law is not a simple person. How can I be fooled by him? He is the one who will suffer the loss. You are just worrying. You have to believe in yourself, my husband." Although Hanyu was happy to see his wife thinking the worst about Si Kongling, he didn't want his wife to underestimate him and think other men were more powerful. Suenayu felt a little funny when she saw Hanyu's rather arrogant look. Hanyu was used to being serious, so he only showed his childish side in front of her in private. Suenayu has a way of dealing with men, and naturally she will not go against her husband's will. Of course, you are my husband, I don't believe who you trust. When it comes to your true ability, my husband, you are naturally better than Si Kongling, but that Si Kongling, he is sinister, ruthless, and full of tricks, so please be more careful, sir." Hanyu felt relieved after hearing his wife say this. "Daughter-in-law, don't worry, your husband-in-law understands in his heart and he won't suffer any loss." "Mr. Sir, what's going on with the colorful exquisite lanterns? If we can't reach an agreement with Si Kongling, we have to find a home quickly, otherwise it won't be a problem if we just leave it like this. I heard from my servants that there are a lot of dark shadows outside." Shaking, "I'm afraid they are all thinking about the colorful lanterns." Suenayu was really not sure whether Hanyu and Si Kongling had reached an agreement. After all, the relationship between the two men was too complex. Hanyu didn't want his wife to worry, so he stopped hiding it now. "Don't worry, the deal has been concluded. With this colorful and exquisite lamp, we have gained a lot of benefits, and when we come back tonight, Si Kongling's our men helped us stop that group of men in black, so we have to be grateful." Hanyu said that before because he didn't want Si Kongling to take advantage of this favor. He still remembered it in his heart. Although he didn't like Si Kongling, he just talked about the matter. The most important thing was that Si Kongling didn't have any ideas about Suenayu anymore, otherwise he wouldn't agree no matter what. Suenayu was not surprised to hear this answer. In the end, the colorful exquisite lamp still fell into Si Kongling's hands, but this lamp was no longer the same lamp. No one would have thought that the core inside the colorful exquisite lamp had been replaced by her. That's good. Now that the lamp has been handed over, we can rest assured. Anyway, this lamp has no other use. It is at most a delicate and exquisite lantern. Hanyu understood what Suenayu meant. This is also thanks to my wife's cleverness. Let's go to bed early. It's already late. It will be dawn later. Suenayu nodded, and changed clothes with Hanyu before lying down on the bed. She was obviously very tired, but still couldn't fall asleep, especially when she thought of the missing things in the colorful exquisite lamp. Thinking about some guesses and possibilities, she tossed and turned in bed. Hanyu was also made sleepless by Suenayu. Husband, do you believe in the legend about the colorful exquisite lamp, the legend of immortality? Suenayu couldn't help asking after all. Rebirth of a Farming Wife. Author, TNNI. Chapter 364. Hanyu didn't believe this before, but these days, many things he discovered from his wife are beyond common sense, especially those words his wife said when she gave birth. Although he didn't show any, has always been in his mind, some speculations have almost come to light, and his wife is tossing and turning so much that she must have something on her mind. The tone of her words is not a joke, which makes him have to think more. It is groundless. There is such a legend. Although it may not be completely true, there is always a reason. However, birth, aging, illness and death are natural laws. The idea of immortality is too illusory. At most, it can prolong life. Maybe the secret lies there. In the sheepskin drawing, Hanyu made a more objective analysis. The colorful exquisite lantern he saw only had a sheepskin drawing, so he made such a guess. Birth, aging, illness and death are natural laws. But perhaps immortality here means another thing, allowing people to be reborn in another way. Suenayu said this, almost revealing her secret. She believed that Hanyu had discovered it long ago, so she hesitated to answer just now. After all, the couple got along well, and Hanyu was such a careful and shrewd person. I am afraid that she exposed more flaws than imagined. It would be better to speak out, otherwise Hanyu would treat her like this. Suspicion weighs heavily in my heart, and there always seems to be a thin layer between the two of them. Sooner or later, problems will arise. Hanyu's body trembled when he heard what Suenayu said. The answer he had guessed for a long time was that his wife had finally decided to confess to him. Daughter-in-law. Hanyu wanted to say something, but he didn't know whether to continue asking. Suenayu had already spoken first. My husband, what I am about to say next may seem bizarre and unacceptable to you, so I have kept it in my heart and dare not say it. But today, I really don't want to hide it, because you are my husband-in-law and the one closest to me. Man, we said we should be honest with each other, if you mind. Hanyu blocked what Suenayu had written down. Daughter-in-law, I don't mind. I'm very happy that you are willing to confess. Since you and I are husband and wife, I can face anything with you calmly. Hanyu said as he took Suenayu into his arms and held Suenayu's hands with each other, as if to give Suenayu firmness and strength, to make Suenayu believe in his unwavering intentions, and to make Suenayu no longer have any worries and doubts. Suenayu was still a little uncertain and hesitant, but this moment no longer existed. With Hanyu's intelligence, he could definitely guess something. Since she could express such an attitude, she had nothing to hesitate about. I am actually reborn. I have lived for 2 lifetimes. In my last life, I never figured it out. I didn't understand what was most important. I did a lot of wrong things and didn't end well. I thought it was God's mercy on me. That's why I was given a chance to be reborn, back to the time when we just got married. But when I heard the legend about the colorful lanterns, and then thought about what I had experienced, I found that things were not that simple. Maybe my rebirth is because of this colorful lamp. Although Hanyu was prepared in his heart, he was still shocked when he heard Suenayu say such a fact personally. He had already guessed it before, but because there was such a trace of uncertainty, there were always other possibilities. Maybe he was overthinking it. It's not necessarily true, but it turns out that his wife is really reborn, which explains many problems. MS Sir, I didn't expect such a bizarre thing to happen to me. Do you mind? Because of Han Yu's silent reaction, Su Wenyu inevitably thought more about it, and her words were a little cautious and nervous. I don't mind. Even if you are reborn, you will still be my wife. As long as we are good in the future, it doesn't matter if Han Yu wants to say that he doesn't mind at all. After all, this kind of thing is too bizarre, and his ability to accept this kind of thing can reach this level. The level was already very good, but when Han Yu saw his wife's uneasy and nervous look, his heart softened. What his wife needed most at this time was his own affirmation, so he said without hesitation. When Su Wenyu heard what Han Yu said, she felt a little more at ease. After all, Han Yu was not an ordinary person. Otherwise, just hearing what she said would have frightened her, and she might have regarded her as a monster. Han Yu seemed a little bit he didn't seem to mind, and his reaction was normal. Daughter-in-law, I don't quite understand what you just said. This colorful and exquisite lamp also appeared in the previous life, right? Do you know whose hands this lamp fell into? Su Wenyu thought that Han Yu must have some considerations in asking this question, so she didn't hide it. I didn't participate in this lantern festival in my previous life. I don't know the details. I only know that the colorful lanterns finally fell into the hands of Si Kongling. Si Kongling gathered many strange people and skilled craftsmen failed to open this lantern in the end. In that case, how did this lantern fall into your hands? Han Yu naturally had a basis for asking. If Su Wenyu had never seen this lantern in her previous life, she would not have had the same reaction as before, and she was very interested in the lantern. His proficiency was beyond his expectation, and he would definitely be able to get this colorful exquisite lamp, not to mention his wife said that Rebirth has a close relationship with the colorful exquisite lamp. Su Wenyu didn't expect Han Yu to ask such a question. She was a little dumb for a moment and didn't know how to answer. Han Yu was a little upset when he saw his wife like this. He had long discovered that his wife's reaction to Si Kongling was abnormal. It seemed that they had interacted with each other in the past, but he couldn't find anything. Now it seems that it happened in a previous life, and looking at it, the wife inadvertently showed her familiarity with Si Kongling, and her heart was filled with jealousy. Did you get this colorful exquisite lamp from Si Kongling? Han Yu asked. Seeing Su Wenyu's slightly changed expression, he was somewhat certain in his heart. However, it was not easy for others to plot against Si Kongling's person. Besides, Su Wenyu, a weak woman, could not think of any way. Besides, his wife said that he had done something wrong in his previous life. Han Yu felt that his wife was not that kind of person, but the facts made him think in that direction. Su Wenyu knew that she could not avoid this question, but she had a little relationship with Si Kongling. Even if Han Yu was generous, he was still a man. A man could not tolerate his woman having a relationship with other men. Besides, Han Yu was jealous. If he did not say it, Han Yu would have guessed something with his intelligence, and this matter would become a thorn in Han Yu's heart. At that time, I was simple and arrogant, and I was very disliked by you. You were not good to me, and Han Lin and Wang Shi took a fancy to the manor I brought as a dowry, and framed me. Later. Rebirth of a Farming Wife. Author, TNNI. Chapter 365. When Su Wenyu said this, she could feel that the man next to her was guarding against the cold air. He obviously cared about these words. She also relaxed her guard for a moment. Originally, she only planned to tell the story about her rebirth, but she didn't expect to be led away by Han Yu. Frankly speaking, even Si Kongling was involved. Sure enough, it was not easy to be cunning when dealing with smart men. Even though she had been a person for 2 lifetimes, she was still trapped by Han Yu. What happened next? Seeing that Su Wenyu paused, Han Yu asked calmly. His voice sounded calm, but Suwenaiyu felt that this was the calm before the storm, and he felt uneasy in his heart, the same as in his previous life. The feeling of regret arose again, but since it had already started, it couldn't be half finished, otherwise Hanyu would have to think more. Wang's talk is sweet, and she coaxes people to do all kinds of tricks. I was naive and ignorant at that time, so I was coaxed by her. I just thought she was sincerely good to me. Especially when you were very unwelcome to me, and you didn't even say a word. She didn't want to talk to me much, so I felt that she was the only person in the Han family who was kind to me, and she treated her with all my heart. She coaxed her to sell out all the dowry, and almost all the benefits fell into her hands. My parents saw that I couldn't survive, so they handed over Zhuangzi, who had been prepared to give it to me for a long time. Who knew that Han Lin and Wang had such big appetites, so they actually took up Zhuangzi's idea again. In the end, Zhuangzi was coaxed by them. After selling, my parents hated me for not living up to expectations and were unwilling to help me anymore. You were in the military camp again, and life became increasingly difficult. Later, you met Si Kongling. Si Kongling coveted my beauty and seduced me several times. Although I hate you, I am not a virtuous wife, but I am not the person who can do that kind of thing. I only scold people away and do not want to have anything to do with them. Who knows? Han Lin and Wang were so ruthless, not only defrauding me of everything I had in hand, but knowing Si Kongling's intentions, they actually came to my door, got benefits from Si Kongling, and used insidious and despicable methods on me. Si Kongling succeeded. I lost my body. I was hateful and angry, but I didn't dare to tell the truth. I couldn't do anything to them. I could only be threatened by them again and again. Finally, I was looking forward to your return. I tried to tell Han Lin and Wang's evil intentions. Let me tell you, not only did you not make the decision for me, but you scolded me for being restless and provoking trouble. I had no way to seek help and I just felt heartbroken. The wives in the village were jealous of me because I was pretty and well-born, and I was alone at home, so they spread a lot of rumors. You didn't care at all, as if I was not your wife. I was angry at your attitude, and Si Kongling. After all the promises and encouragement, Si Kongling finally left, and they never had anything to do with her again. When Suwenaiyu said this, she seemed to still have some emotions from her previous life, and her tone was full of anger and resentment, not only towards Han Lin and Wang, but also towards Han Yu. When Han Yu heard this, he didn't know how to describe his feelings. What man could remain indifferent after hearing such a thing? He originally thought that his wife and Si Kongling had some connection and ambiguity, but they had such a deep relationship. He took his wife away. The hatred is irreconcilable. It hurts. Suwenaiyu felt the big hand holding her tighten, and the force was so strong that it hurt her. She was completely freed from her previous emotions, and looked at Han Yu lying next to him with a dark face and scarlet eyes. She looked regretful and fearful in her heart. She originally thought that she had completely emerged from the shadow of her previous life. It seemed that there was still a shadow in her heart. Otherwise, she would not be swayed by the resentment and said something to irritate Han Yu. If Ms. Sir, are you angry with me? I didn't mean what happened in my previous life. Later I found out that it was because I wasn't virtuous enough that you didn't like me. It was also because I wasn't smart enough that I was deceived by Han Lin and Wang. It's so miserable, and I risked my future and happiness for the rest of my life against you, and finally ended up like that. Seeing that Han Yu still didn't speak, Suwenaiyu said, Mr. Sir? If you mind, just tell me. I can understand. Suwenaiyu didn't know how Han Yu would react. She just wanted Han Yu to give her a happy one. Even if he was angry and blamed her for scolding her, it would be better than staying silent now. Ms. Sir, Suwenaiyu called softly again, but fell silent when Han Yu ignored her. It wasn't that Hanyu really didn't want to pay attention to Suenayu, he just needed some time to calm down his mood. He was still very angry, but as his wife told him, he gradually calmed down. At this time, his mind was extremely rational and clear. Even though he was jealous and uncomfortable in his heart, after all, it was something that happened in his previous life. To him, it had never happened at all. If he separated from his wife because of this, or even alienated her, it would be more than worth the gain. Suenayu didn't know what Hanyu was thinking. This was the first time since they got married that Hanyu was so indifferent to her. She said that as long as he was a man, it was impossible not to mind that matter. Although she had changed things a little, it was her who she had no choice but to think that Hanyu would understand her even if he was angry, but the result was not as good as she imagined. What did Suenayu care about most? Even if Hanyu beat her and scolded her, he had such an indifferent attitude, which was very similar to the one in his previous life. The Hanyu who was indifferent to her and didn't care at all made her feel a little panic and despair. She is really satisfied with the life she is living now. Should her current happiness be ruined because of what happened in her previous life? Suenayu cried as she thought about it. Hanyu figured it out soon. Even if he still had some doubts in his heart, they would fade away sooner or later. Hearing that his wife had stopped moving, he turned around and saw that she was curled up like an abandoned little animal, crying silently. His heart ached. This fool was probably overthinking again. Wife, you. Hanyu sighed and wanted to comfort his wife, but he heard the noise outside. At the same time, there was a warning from the secret guard. The big hand that was about to fall on his wife's head was withdrawn. He quickly got up, put on his clothes, picked up the sword and was about to go out. Hanyu made such a big noise that Suenayu couldn't help but feel it even if she was immersed in her own world. Seeing Hanyu like this, something must have happened. She sat up worriedly. Now was not the time for her to be hypocritical. Husband, what happened? Where are you going? Hanyu knew that this was the most sensitive time for his wife. He should comfort her, but the matter was urgent and he couldn't delay. He could only stop and hurriedly give a few instructions. Wife, I'm going to do something. Just sleep well. Don't think too much. I'll explain it to you later. Hey, husband. Before Suenayu finished speaking, Hanyu's figure had disappeared from her sight. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Rebirth of a Farming Wife. Author, TNNI. Chapter 366. Suenayu lay down slumped, feeling unhappy. She was a little worried about Hanyu's safety, and worried that Hanyu would be angry because of Si Kongling. Hanyu left too hastily, and there were many things that had not been explained clearly. Suenayu was still a little worried. I was up and down and didn't sleep either. I wanted to wait for Hanyu to come back, but I was too sleepy, so I fell asleep while waiting. When I woke up, it was already broad daylight. I looked to one side habitually and saw that Hanyu was not there. No, even if I touched the bed, it was cold. Could it be that Hanyu didn't come back all night? Suenayu thought this and immediately got confirmation from Nanny Li last night. A thief broke into the house and was driven away by Hanyu. Before he could return to the room, he was called away by someone unknown later. Haven't come back until now. Don't worry, madam. Your Excellency has extraordinary abilities, and everything will be fine. Seeing Suenayu's unhappy face, Grandma Li thought it was because she was worried about Hanyu, so she comforted her. Suenayu nodded without saying anything, and asked Nanny Li to tell the wet nurse to bring the children over. Only a year later, the three little guys had grown a lot, and they were white and fat. Looking at the three little guys, Suenayu she felt much more at peace in her heart. No matter what, this life was different after all. At least she still had 3 well-behaved and obedient children. Brother Scene has been smart since he was a child. He didn't know if he felt his mother's depression, so he stretched out his hand for a hug. Suwenayu's heart softened and she teased the 3 little guys. Finally, she didn't feel that the time was so difficult. However, she was still waiting for Hanyu to come back because she didn't know where Hanyu was going and what he was doing, and she was afraid that it would be bad if he had to ask people to find out. Regarding Hanyu's affairs, we can only ask the servant to guard at the concierge and report back as soon as there is any news. Suwenayu kept waiting like this, from morning to afternoon, from afternoon to evening, thinking that Hanyu would always come back. However, in the evening, Hanyu still didn't come back, and he didn't send anyone back to report. Suwenayu was unavoidable. After thinking about it, could it be that Hanyu didn't want to talk to her because of Si Kongling's incident, so he didn't want to come back? Otherwise, no matter how busy she was in the past, she would always send someone to send a letter back, so that at least she wouldn't have to worry so much. The 3 little guys had a lot of fun today and began to fall asleep after feeding. After Suwenayu checked carefully, she asked the nanny to go back to the room to sleep with the 3 little guys in her arms. Without the little one babbling by her side, Suwenayu could not help but think wildly and kept looking forward to Hanyu's return. She waited until midnight but still didn't see anyone. Hanyu was really busy at this time and had no time to think about things at home. Although he didn't want to do anything to his wife because of Si Kongling's affairs, he still cared about it deep down in his heart. He had legitimate reasons and reasons. It happened to take this time to separate for a while, and I thought that with this time, the worries in my heart were eliminated. However, I was afraid that my wife would be worried, so when I had free time, I still sent someone back to report the news, so as not to worry my wife. Madam, you haven't been able to eat well or sleep well these past 2 days. If you continue like this, your body will be unable to bear it sooner or later. My lord may be too busy with things, so I can't come back. You should be heartbroken when my lord comes back like this, seeing that Suwenayu stayed up late waiting for Hanyu again, and the madam's behavior in the past 2 days. Grandma Li also noticed something was wrong between them. However, the madam didn't want to mention it. As a servant, she could only try her best to serve and secret guard. I'm worried about his safety, Suwenayu said calmly. Some things cannot be disclosed to outsiders and can only be kept in the heart. Everything will be fine, sir. Ma'am, why don't you go to bed first and I'll keep watch for you. If the sir comes back, I'll wake you up. Even if you're not doing it for me, you're doing it for the sake of the 2 young masters and the young lady. You also have to support the pillars so that your body won't be damaged. Grandma Li tried her best to persuade her, but she was really worried. Fortunately, Hanyu's guards came back soon with news. Madam, my lord has something to do and can't come back. I want you to take good care of yourself and your family. You don't have to worry about him. Suwenayu was worried and couldn't bear it anymore, but she felt a lot more relieved after receiving the news that Hanyu was safe. No matter what, it was just fine that Hanyu was fine. As for other things, there were always solutions. With this time, she also wanted to okay, now that something happened, there is no point in worrying. The only way is to face it calmly. Moreover, Hanyu still remembered to send someone back to report that he was safe, which showed that he was thinking about him. My husband, what is he busy with? What happened? Suwenayu then asked again. The guard sent by Hanyu refused to disclose it. Please forgive me, madam, what you are doing now is quite secretive and important. I dare not disclose it without your permission. Seeing the guard's attitude from the side, Grandma Li was a little angry, especially since the lady had been worrying about eating and sleeping for the past 2 days. The guard actually hid the matter from the lord and refused to tell him. He was doing his duty by leaving it to others. But Madam is not an outsider, so how can she treat her like ordinary people? She immediately put on a serious face. Madam asks, just answer well. Is it possible that the master will still blame you? You are such a guard and you don't know the truth. Aunt Lee said this, but the guard remained unmoved. This is my duty, madam, please forgive me. Su Wenyu had no intention of blaming the guards. They were just fulfilling their duties and being able to take such a serious attitude. Su Wenyu was somewhat appreciative and waved her hand to let him go back to life. After hearing the news that Hanyu was safe, Su Wenyu finally had a good sleep. When she woke up the next day, she had just finished washing and dressing up, and had not even had time to eat breakfast, when Yezingsen came to find her. It was at this time that Su Wenyu learned that a riot had occurred in the neighboring city, and someone had risen up in rebellion under the guise of serving the king and clearing the court of evil, but the news only came out in the morning. Sister you don't know that the whole XX city is in chaos because of the rebellion. Even our Yiyang prefecture has been affected a lot. Even my husband, who is so free, is busy all the time, not to mention your husband. He has been busy these days and definitely can't spare time to go home. My husband specially asked me to come and accompany you because he was afraid that you would worry after hearing the news. Su Wenyu felt a little complicated when she heard Yezingsen's words. She actually learned about Hanyu's movements through Yezingsen. It seems that it is not such a confidential matter. If it were normal, Su Wenyu would not think too much, but it was a sensitive time like this. However, no matter what she thought in her heart, Su Wenyu would not show anything wrong on her face. She smiled and said, "Don't worry, I'm fine. The court is so chaotic now, and rebellion is not without reason. It doesn't sound too surprising. What's more, my husband sent someone back last night to report that he was safe. I feel relieved when I know that he is fine." Rebirth of a Farming Wife. Author, TNNI. Chapter 367. Brother Han, thank you for taking care of him these days. My injury is almost healed. My brother is fighting against those traitors at this time. I can't just wait comfortably like this. I have to go back to help him. Farewell to Brother Han. Brother Han. I will remember your great kindness and virtue and will definitely repay him in the future. When Lu Xiu learned that his eldest brother was raising the banner to fight against the imperial court, he could no longer hold back and immediately decided to go back to help his eldest brother Lu Yan. It's important to be loyal to someone who trusts you. You and I are good friends. Since he trusts you, I should take good care of you. Brother Lu, there is no need to be so polite. I have prepared the carriage and salute for you. Be careful on the road. Hanyu did not take credit, but said it truthfully, which made Lu Xiu admire Hanyu's character even more. Although he was entrusted by others to be loyal, there were only a few people who could really do it. He had already experienced the warmth of human kindness. All the time, not to mention that this matter is also related to one's own safety. It is so dangerous, and it is even more valuable not to take credit. Brother Han, take care. These are all I need. I won't refuse. I won't say thank you for your kindness. I will repay you one day, as I said, Lu Xiu said with clasped fists, filled with emotion. Brother Lu, take care. You admires your brother and your character very much. If necessary, just send someone to say something. Although I can't work with you on big things because of my family's tiredness, and I am openly an enemy of the imperial court, I can't do what I can. You will try his best to help. Although Hanyu is not sure whether Lu Yan and Lu Xiu brothers can succeed, the situation in the court will be completely chaotic sooner or later. Although it is not mature enough for him now, it is not right to embark on this path. Sooner or later, if you make more friends, there will be more paths to follow. The Lu brothers are both of good character and can be regarded as a good choice for cooperation. Brother Han, don't worry. We won't be polite when you need us. Goodbye. Lu Xiu got on the carriage after saying that. Han Yu sent 2 more guards to transform into inconspicuous young men and grooms to escort Lu Xiu all the way. Lu Xiu was really rude, because he regarded Han Yu as a friend from the bottom of his heart, and he really needed Han Yu's help. After returning to his hometown to reunite with his brother, he learned that his army was short of food, so he sent someone to deliver a letter, send a secret message to Han Yu. Han Yu never told lies, and it was not too difficult to get these grains. Because he knew the general situation of the court, he had already raised a large amount of grains and hid them. He immediately arranged for someone to send them to Lu Xiu secretly. After arranging these, Han Yu, after returning to the military camp, chaos has begun. It is also the best time to deploy manpower over the military camp. At this time, there is no fixed rest time, and the usual rest time has been cancelled. Troops are ready to be dispatched at any time to suppress the counter forces. Mr. Han Qian, please let me go. Han Yu just returned to the military camp and was called over by his superiors. When Han Yu arrived, he found that all the generals at the same level as him were in the camp. There was a lot of quarrel in the tent, as if they were arguing about who to send to defeat the rebels. When Han Yu came in, they all stopped talking and looked at him strangely. He looked at Han Yu sympathetically. When Han Yu saw the situation, his mood became somewhat clear. This was not the first time he had seen such a look. It was probably because something bad had happened to him. He felt fearless and calm. He was not one of those greedy and fearful people. Those who are ready to die will be prepared to shed blood and sweat when entering the military camp. Mr. Han Qian, you came just in time. I have a task to send you to perform. Lu Yan in Nanjun rebelled with great momentum. There were not enough troops stationed there, so the imperial court issued an order for us to send troops to quell the rebellion. I will consider it. Again, I decided to let you go and kill all the traitors, Zhang Qinhu ordered in a deep voice, leaving no room for Han Yu to question. Yes, I accept the order. From my humble position, Han Yu was very clear about the situation in Nanjun. The rebel army led by Lu Yan had assembled and united various people, and the momentum was huge. How could it be possible to only send him to lead these people? It's not nice to say he was going to die, and there were only so many military orders, not to mention that Zhang Qinhu and Sun Tongpan were working together and collaborating. It was useless for him to raise questions, he would only be charged with disobeying military orders. Zhang Qinhu saw Han Yu follow the order and leave, a hint of viciousness and success flashed across his face. Not only was Sun Tongpan jealous of this person and wanted to get rid of him, he was also afraid of Han Yu. This not only did the young man climb very fast, he originally thought he was a straw bag who would flatter everyone. It would be easy to get rid of him, but unexpectedly it turned out to be a hard nut to crack. Since Han Yu entered the military camp, he had stumbled many times. Han Yu easily avoided it. If he didn't get rid of it as soon as possible, it would become a serious problem for him sooner or later. Han Yu came out of Zhang Qinhu's camp with a stupefied expression and returned to his own tent. His face started to cool down and he looked very good looking. Military advisor Yan Pingdao heard that Han Yu was called by Zhang Qinhu, so he kept waiting in the camp. Seeing Han Yu like this, he was afraid that he might have encountered some trouble. Sir, what kind of trouble have you encountered? Zhang Qinhu will not call you there for no reason. From the news I got, could it be that Zhang Qinhu wants to send you to reinforce Nan County to counter the rebellion, and he did not give you enough manpower? I'm afraid. Do you want us to leave without returning? Yan Pingdao almost guessed the truth based on the information he received and Han Yu's reaction. Han Yu nodded and saw that Yan Pingdao's expression softened a little. The military advisor's guess is right. It's just like this. It would be fine if it were someone else. It's just that the manpower is small. If we use it properly, it's not that we have no chance of winning. I don't want to be an enemy of Nanjun Lu Yan. Han Yu did not hide many things from Yan Pingdao, and Yan Pingdao also understood Han Yu's concerns. Lu Yan of Nanjun is not only a descendant of the royal family, he is also a hero and admirable. Looking at the current situation, the imperial court is no longer the original imperial court. Being controlled by Prime Minister Wang, it's hard to say what will happen in the future. We really don't need to be enemies with Lu Yan. I'm afraid you may also have such thoughts if you are on good terms with Lu Xiu. Sir, if it really doesn't work, we might as well rebel against him and go to Nanjun to surrender to Lu Yan. According to my subordinates, sooner or later the court will be in chaos. When the time comes, the heroes of all parties will separate themselves. It's time for you to show your ambition. It's not that I haven't thought about the military advisor's suggestion. It's just that my wife, children, old and young are all in Yiyang Mansion. If I rebel, the court will definitely take action on my family. My parents and brothers are okay. They are far away in a remote mountain village, and it is not easy to move them. I noticed that my wife and children live in Yiyang Mansion, and those people are probably keeping an eye on the Han Mansion. If there is any movement, they will definitely become suspicious. I cannot risk the safety of my wife and children. When the military advisor heard what Han Yu said, he sighed in his heart. Those who achieve great things do not stick to trivial matters. Your Excellency cares too much about your wife and children. However, as a subordinate, he can only do his best to give advice to his lord. My lord, if you want to, I have an idea to move my wife out without causing any suspicion, but my wife will be aggrieved for the time being. Rebirth of a Farming Wife. Author, Tian Ni. Chapter 368. Han Yu frowned when he heard that his wife would be wronged. He would rather wrong himself than his wife. Besides, no matter how the things in the previous life happened, they were all illusions to him and never really happened. He saw everything his wife did for him and the grievances she suffered since she married him. Even if his career was important to him, his wife was equally important. He would not sacrifice his wife for his career. If it really didn't work, he would just endure it temporarily and think of other ways. Yan Pingdao knew Han Yu was unwilling to do so when he saw Han Yu like this. He didn't even ask him what the solution was. He didn't want his wife to suffer any grievances. This showed the status of his wife in his heart. However, this was definitely not the time for sentimental love. Sir, I know you love Madam and would rather make things more difficult and complicated than let Madam suffer any grievances. But this may not be good for Madam. First of all, in my opinion, Madam also loves you deeply and would definitely not want you to sacrifice so much for her. Secondly, compared with Madam's safety, it is nothing to suffer some grievances. As long as people are safe, there are still many days to come. So far, you have not found a perfect solution for this matter. If Madam falls into danger because of this, it will be a loss. Since Yan Pingdao knew what Han Yu cared about, he naturally knew how to persuade Han Yu. He should not let you be dragged down by love, and what he said was also true. He believed that you could weigh the importance of both. Tell me, what's your idea? Han Yu was obviously persuaded by Yan Pingdao. What he cares most about is the safety of his wife and children. If it's not too much. Yan Pingdao was delighted when he saw this, and whispered a few words in Han Yu's ear. Han Yu subconsciously felt that it was not possible. This is absolutely not possible. I promised my wife that I would only have her as a woman in this life, and I would never have other thoughts. Even if it is a stopgap measure, it won't work. My wife's personality, if there is really another woman intervening between us, she would rather die than live in disgrace. I can't bear this result. If it really comes to that, what's the point of it? Han Yu's reaction is not so loyal and determined to be monogamous. No matter what, Han Yu is just a native of the De Ming dynasty. His thoughts are no different from those of men in this dynasty. It can only be said that Su Wenayu's training over the past period of time is still good, so that Han Yu understands the seriousness of the matter. Han Yu does not want to lose his wife, so naturally he can't let other women interfere. Yan Pingdao heard Han Yu say this, and a hint of disappointment flashed in his eyes. The master is good in everything, but he values children's love too much. Although the lady is a very good woman and is very helpful to the master, the only bad thing is that she is too jealous and domineering, and does not allow the master to have other women. If this opportunity can be used to break this situation, it will be good. In his heart, Yan Pingdao actually does not believe that Su Wenyu will leave because Han Yu has another woman. After a woman gets married, she lives for her husband, and doing such a thing because of jealousy is absolutely not allowed by this society. I don't mean that the master must be with other women. I just want to create such an illusion. There is no actual relationship. In the end, the lady doesn't understand. The master can just tell the truth to resolve the misunderstanding. Yan Pingdao looked at Han Yu's attitude. It is impossible to really take another woman. He can only settle for the second best. Yan Pingdao is not targeting Su Wenyu as a person, but just too loyal and self-righteous. Han Yu listened to Yan Pingdao's explanation. It was not impossible to do so. He was not betraying his wife. It was just a temporary measure. However, even if he explained it clearly, his wife would feel uncomfortable for a while. He was still reluctant and showed hesitation on his face. Seeing this, Yan Pingdao stepped up his efforts to persuade, "My lord, you must believe that Madam trusts you. If Madam really cares about you, how can she not know what kind of person you are? Naturally, she will not be fooled. Moreover, from what you have revealed on a daily basis, Madam is a very smart woman. Maybe she can understand your intentions. Besides, it is common for a man to have 3 wives and 4 concubines. She is just a woman used to deceive people. It can't affect Madam's status." The more Yan Pingdao talked, the more he felt that this was the truth. There was even a hint of discord in it. After all, things between men and women cannot be completely measured by reason. If there is a trace of distrust in each other, the result will definitely not be good. Even if it can be maintained on the surface, there will be a crack in the heart. Han Yu's face turned cold, and he looked straight at Yan Pingdao with sharp and scrutinizing eyes. "Military advisor, I hope you understand that my wife and I are one. Since you are loyal to me, you must treat my wife with the same attitude. I asked you to come here to give me advice, not to make decisions, otherwise, I can't afford such a talent." Yan Pingdao, the military advisor, was not sent by the court, but hired by Han Yu because he valued talents. It was not within the regulations, and Han Yu had the final say on whether to stay or leave. Yan Pingdao was looked at like this by Han Yu, and after listening to Han Yu's words, it seemed that he could see through his inner thoughts. In such cold weather, beads of sweat appeared on his forehead. "Please forgive me, sir. I will never do this again." Yan Pingdao wiped his sweat. In front of a person like Sir, his little thoughts must be nowhere to hide. This statement was really smart. "Remember, just this once, I will not allow anyone to disrespect my wife, even from the heart. I remember it." Han Yu was slightly satisfied when he saw that Yan Pingdao really knew he was wrong. However, this proposal could be adopted. After all, he could not guarantee it completely under such circumstances. His wife's safety was the first priority. However, his wife really had to suffer some grievances. Whether he was afraid of leaking the news or afraid that his wife's performance was not realistic, Han Yu could not tell his wife in advance. It was related to his life and property, so he had to be cautious. He only hoped that his wife would understand him in the future. "Let's arrange this matter as you said." "Yes, I will do it right away." Yan Pingdao was warned by Han Yu. He thought that this matter would not work, so he had to think of another way. However, apart from this, He really couldn't think of any other good way for the time being. The adults were in a difficult situation now. He didn't expect Hanyu to agree. As expected, the adults were still wise. He would do his part in the future. As for other adults, they would weigh their own opinions. So when Ayu finally figured it out and calmly waited for Hanyu to come back. However, she didn't expect that before he came back, rumors spread throughout Yiyang Prefecture, saying that Hanyu had recently fallen in love with a beautiful woman, and it turned out that the devoted Lord Han was also an ordinary man. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Rebirth of a Farming Wife. Author, TNNI. Chapter 369. When Li Mami heard the news, she was worried. They had served the lady for so long, so they naturally understood her temperament. She was definitely not a virtuous and generous lady in this regard. Regardless of whether the news was true or false, she didn't know how the master felt after hearing the news. She would probably make a fuss. It was said that men would become bad when they had money. The master looked good before, but why did he change now? Could it be that he was a high-ranking official and felt that the Su family could no longer restrain him, so he dared to keep a woman outside? Li Mami sighed and thought about how to tell the lady. In her heart, she actually believed these rumors. There is no smoke without fire. Besides, the master had not come back these days, so he must have been hooked by a vixen outside. It was a pity for the lady. She was raised since she was a child and married a farmer and suffered a lot. Now she finally got through life, but she encountered such a thing. She wanted to hide it from the lady, but the lady was very concerned about the news outside these days, so she couldn't hide it even if she wanted to. Let's wait and see. If it doesn't work, we can only go to the Su family to invite the master and the lady to come. We can't let the lady be bullied. Madam Li, is there anything difficult? So when Ayu saw that Madam Li was hesitant to speak, and thought that Madam Li had encountered something difficult, so she asked. This, Madam Li was tangled, and seeing the lady's concerned look, it was even more difficult to speak. So when Ayu thought that Madam Li had encountered something difficult, Madam, you have been with me for a long time, and you used to serve my mother. I rely on you for many things on weekdays. The relationship is different from that of others. If there is any difficulty, just tell me. If I can help, I will do my best. So when Ayu said this because this person is Madam Li, if it were someone else, she would naturally not say this. It is really rare to say that Madam Li is really loyal, except that she is a little old-fashioned. She has always been wholeheartedly doing things, and she doesn't want some people under her to get some benefits from it. Seeing the lady's concerned look, Li Mama felt touched when she heard these words. She had done her best for the lady, and it seemed that her efforts were not in vain. However, she was even more reluctant to let the lady hear this sad news. Madam, there are rumors outside that the master has not come back these days because he has been seduced by a vixen outside. I don't know whether this news is true or not, and I am afraid that the lady will be sad after hearing it. Li Mama gritted her teeth and told the story. If the master really had such thoughts, such things would be inevitable in the future. The lady had been prepared and had a way to deal with it. She couldn't really let the master be seduced by the woman outside. So when Ayu was stunned when she heard what Li Mam said. She thought she had misheard. Li Mam, what did you say? Hanyu has a woman outside. I don't know whether this is true or not. The rumors outside are all like that. Besides, the master hasn't come back for so many days. I feel that something is not right. Madam should make plans early and find a way to find the master back. Li Mam. So when Ayu stood up suddenly. Thinking of what happened that night, Hanyu actually minded it in his heart. Which man would not care about his woman cheating on him? Even if there is a reason, if Su Wenyu had some confidence in Hanyu before, she dared not say it now. Maybe Hanyu was looking for a woman outside because of this imbalance. How could she be so stupid to really believe that Hanyu would not mind? If she said she was careless, she was actually obeying her inner thoughts. Those things had been suppressed in her heart for a long time. She wanted to find someone to talk to. Hanyu's performance since the marriage made her trust him enough, so she was stupid. Thinking of the happiness that she had finally gotten in this life, and the 3 children, Su Wenyu was unwilling to let the happiness fly away. She immediately went to find Hanyu and figured out what was going on no matter what. If Hanyu really had a woman outside, Su Wenyu's mind was in a mess. She hadn't thought about it specifically. She didn't know if she should continue to live with Hanyu if he really had a woman outside. If she divorced, her parents would probably not be willing to divorce for this reason, not to mention other things. After all, it was too common for a man to have 3 wives and 4 concubines. Even her father had 2 concubines. But if she continued to live like this, she felt really uncomfortable and couldn't get over it. If it was before, she wouldn't think so and just wanted a comfortable life, but after these days of getting along, she really fell in love with Hanyu. In fact, the people in the mansion had heard more or less about the rumors outside. When they saw Su Wenyu going to look for her, no one stopped her. In fact, they all thought that the mistress was very good and were grateful in their hearts. They didn't want the woman outside to seduce the master and mess up the mansion. It would be great if the lady could find the master back. "Madam, what's wrong?" The people around her saw Su Wenyu stop and asked in confusion. Su Wenyu's mind was in a mess when she heard the news. She calmed down when she walked to the door. She thought it was wrong. This matter was strange everywhere. She was too shocked by the news just now. She didn't notice the trick for a while. After all, which woman could be so calm when encountering such a thing? Hanyu had never done anything wrong with women, so it was possible that he was panicked for a while. "Madam," Li Mama was worried and followed Su Wenyu. Seeing Su Wenyu's reaction, she asked softly, "Li Mama, is there any rumor about who that woman is and what her family background is?" Su Wenyu calmed down and asked for details. "It is said that this is the daughter of a merchant. Her family fell into poverty. When she was sold to a brothel, she was rescued by the adults and placed outside. It is said that this girl is very beautiful, so the adults were bewitched by that vixen." Li Ma gritted her teeth when she talked about the woman who seduced her adults. "Is she a merchant's daughter, or was she rescued from a brothel?" Su Wenyu's face softened a lot when she heard this. She didn't believe the rumors outside. She didn't know who Hanyu was. If she wanted to find a girl with a good family background for her future, it was possible, but if it was just for the beauty of women, this was really not Hanyu's style. If this girl was beautiful, Hanyu had seen beautiful women before, and when he was successful, there was no woman he couldn't get, but Hanyu didn't have any intention, and it was even more impossible now. Su Wenyu has great confidence in Hanyu in this regard. Moreover, when the situation outside is so tense, Hanyu would never have such thoughts and would not have time to plan and lay out his plans, unless there is something strange about this woman, or Hanyu has other intentions. Rebirth of a Farming Wife. Author, TNNI. Chapter 370. Su Wenyu felt that she shouldn't be too impulsive. There was probably something fishy involved in this matter. She had to go back and think carefully before making a decision. Otherwise, it would be bad if she went there recklessly and ruined Hanyu's affairs. Yes, that's it, just wait and see. After making the decision, Su Wenyu took back her steps out of the door. "Madam, what are you doing?" Nanny Li didn't understand why the madam didn't feel anxious all of a sudden. Didn't she say she wanted to go find an adult, or go find that foxy kid to resolve the matter? Putting it off like this was not the way to go. What if the adult and that foxy child have a child outside? Mother Lee, we're not going, let's go back, Su Wenyu said and turned around and walked back, leaving everyone a little confused. Why did the lady change her mind again? Could it be that she had figured it out and wanted to go back? Showing virtuousness and generosity, but having said that, the identity of the woman outside is really not worthy of publicity. Maybe Madame didn't take her seriously. Nanny Lee obviously thought the same thing. Madam, although this era requires women to be virtuous and generous, we really can't do this kind of thing. If we really let that foxy girl outside lure you away, Madam will regret it too late. Fortunately, Madam already has 3 children. I see that your Majesty still loves Madam very much. As long as Madam goes to find her, your Majesty might change your mind for the sake of the children. Seeing Aunt Lee looking so anxious, Su Wenyu felt quite sad. However, there were some things she could understand, but she couldn't tell her servants, and she couldn't say them. She only said, "Don't worry, Nanny, I have my own sense of discretion. My husband is right, I understand who he is, and he is not the ungrateful person who started out in chaos and ended up abandoning her. What's more, the incident about the woman is just a rumor and cannot be confirmed. It may be a trap deliberately set by someone." After hearing what Su Wenyu said, Grandma Lee felt a little uneasy, but she didn't dare to say anything more. Madame became more and more majestic, and she couldn't see through many of her thoughts. Besides, this was not something that she, a servant, could mediate with. She just do your part. Su Wenyu turned around and went directly to the 3 children's rooms. Looking at the 3 little guys, she felt a lot better. Although she had calmed down now, she was not so calm in her heart and began to think about how to deal with it. At this time, Hanyu was walking with a pretty woman, their movements were intimate, and they looked extremely compassionate, and they entered a small courtyard together. If you walk in and take a closer look, you will find that Hanyu has a bit of indifference and impatience on his face, while the woman has a shy look, and there is affection between her brows and eyes, which does not seem to be fake. "Sir, you have worked hard these days, do you want me to serve you and get acquainted with you?" Chi Fei looked at Hanyu with her beautiful eyes. Her figure was like a weak willow supporting the wind, and her eyes seemed to be able to speak, carrying a message of invitation. If it were ordinary when a man sees this, he might feel soft and pity, but unfortunately Hanyu is not an ordinary man and is not moved by it, especially with Su Wenyu as a comparison. Seeing Chi Fei acting like this, he just feels hypocritical and ugly. Seeing Chi Fei leaning towards him, Hanyu frowned. Although this woman was temporarily bought to cover others' eyes, she didn't look very peaceful. "No, you can go down." Hanyu dodged and did not let Chi Fei touch him. Although he had to show intimacy just for the sake of showmanship, Hanyu also insisted on his bottom line. He had promised his wife. "Sir, why don't I go to the kitchen and cook some good dishes for you? I don't have any other skills. I learned the cooking skills from the cook at home. I'm afraid I won't be able to eat them because I'm so busy these days. A good meal, just in time to try the slave's cooking." Chi Fei was not discouraged even after being rejected by Hanyu. She boasted that she was good at cooking and wanted to show it to Hanyu. Such an outstanding man was naturally inferior to those lustful men. It would be even worse if he was not beguiled by her beauty. It shows that this man's determination is extraordinary. Only such a man can be worthy of her, Chi Fei. If we put it in the past, she could barely match Mr. Han based on her life experience. Now that she has fallen into this situation, it's just that this is not the case. Well, since she can meet such a good man, it means that Chi Fei is lucky. With her appearance and beauty, she doesn't believe she can't win this man. As soon as Hanyu heard Chi Fei mention her cooking skills with pride, he thought of his wife. She said she was a good cook. No matter how good she was, how could she be as good as his wife? Chief Fei looked forward to seeing her again, ambition and desire clearly revealed on her face, but her face turned cold. You understand why I bought you. You also agreed to my conditions. When the matter is over, I will hand over the deed of sale to you and give you your freedom. As for other things that you shouldn't think about, don't think about them. Otherwise, your end will be 100 times more miserable than being sold into a brothel, so do your part and don't let me see you doing anything restless, otherwise you won't be able to bear the consequences. Han Yuleng, he said in a loud voice, looking at Chief Fei with cold eyes. Chief Fei was still scared when she saw Han Yu's cold look. She almost lost her innocence when she fell into a brothel. It felt like life was worse than death. It was 100 times more miserable than this. What would happen to her? Chief Fei was a businessman. The daughter of a woman, nothing else, but very good at reading people's eyes. Han Yu was not joking at all, especially the chill in his words, which made her shiver, and she always felt a little unwilling to be reconciled. I have delusional thoughts, but I never dare to show them on my face. Yes, I understand. Go down. Han Yu warned Chief Fei, but did not even give Chief Fei an extra look and waved to let him go down. Yan Pingdao came over and saw this scene, and sighed in his heart. The master was too ignorant of sympathy for women. Chief Fei was still pretty. If it was another man, he would have taken advantage of the situation long ago. But the master was unmoved and only thought of the lady. He had never seen the lady, but heard that the lady was also beautiful. Could she be more beautiful than Chief Fei? Otherwise, how could the master be so devoted to her? How is it? Has the news spread? Han Yu asked when he saw Yan Pingdao coming over. Don't worry, the matter has been settled. If I am not wrong, the lady may have received the news. Yan Pingdao said carefully. Han Yu warned him on this point, and he did not dare to show too much emotion. Things were done according to the master's wishes, and there was absolutely no extra movement. When Han Yu heard Yan Ping's words, his expression was very complicated. He was mostly worried. He didn't know how his wife would react when she heard the news. If there were any other options, he would not be willing to do so. But in the current situation, his situation was too difficult and he could not risk his wife's safety. Even if his wife was sad for a while, she would understand after explaining it clearly.